In this video, the final in our series, we will provide a narrative of enlightened Sikhs who laid the burden of reform onto the doorsteps of the 21st century. These Sikhs picked up where the pioneers of the Singh Sabha reform movement left off. Many of them faced daunting challenges such as excommunication, violence, intimidation, and disruptive actions to prevent their messages from reaching Sikhs. Gyani Bhag Singh Ambala became the first Sikh intellectual, Pracharak and writer to expose the reality of the Dasam Granth to the Sikh world. In 1976, he wrote a thoroughly researched book under the title of Dasam Granth Darpan. Bhag Singh made the following 5 discoveries. 1. That none of the contents of that Granth were composed by Guru Gobind Singh. 2. He provided the original sources where the contents had been lifted from, mainly old Sanatan texts such as Markandeya Puran, Vishnu Puran, Bhagavat Puran, and Sahansaramal. 3. He laid bare the names and identities of the real authors of the compositions within the Granth. 4. He exposed the narratives of Hemkund, Deshiva Mitrapyarenu, and Dushdaman as the name of Guru Gobind Singh in his past life as fabrications aimed at corrupting, denigrating, and debasing both the 10th master and his spirituality. And 5th, which was a shocking exposure, that there were 577 pages of sordid sexual narratives within the Dasam Granth. For the first time, the Sikh world was told openly that woman-degrading sexual content in the form of tales of depravity described in explicit detail filled 577 pages of the Dasam Granth within a section titled Charitropakhyan, meaning tales pertaining to women. Gyani Bhag Singh had taken on the leading Sikh preacher at that time, Nirmala Gyani Sant Singh Maskeen, on the issue of Dasam Granth. Maskeen's position was that Guru Gobind Singh authored the entire Dasam Granth. At a function in Delhi, Bhag Singh raised Maskeen's fury by placing one page of the decadent Charitars in front of Maskeen while the Nirmala preacher was speaking, and then challenging him to explain it to the Sangat. Ambala had also left Maskeen speechless in an open debate on the Dasam Granth. Nirmala Sant Singh Maskeen had become Ambala's main adversary. Maskeen thus engineered the excommunication of Gyani Bhag Singh, which was handed down on the 5th of July 1977 by the Akal Takht. 2 respectable Sikhs, Principal Harbhajan Singh and Principal Surjit Singh, have provided first-hand accounts of the trickery and treachery of Nirmala preacher Sant Singh Maskeen in this matter. Both Harbhajan Singh and Surjit Singh were part of a group of intellectuals that was formed by the Akal Takht to study Bhag Singh Ambala's book in 1977 and make recommendations to the Akal Takht. Both have said in writing that the Committee of Intellectuals was not in favor of excommunication, given the amount of painstaking research that had been conducted by Ambala, but Maskeen convinced the Jathedars that Ambala's book would open a can of worms and embolden others. Ambala thus had to be silenced through his excommunication. Gyani Gurbakh Singh Kala Afghana stands amongst the most enlightened, awakened, and dedicated Sikhs who devoted his entire life towards detailing and exposing in excruciating detail the Brahmanization of Sikhi that went on for some 200 years. His research and depth of understanding of Gurbani is unmatched. He captured the entire narrative of the distortion and corruption of Sikhi at the hands of the Udasis, Nirmalas, and Dera and Taksali's sons in a massive 12-volume expose aptly titled Bipran Ki Reet To Sach Da Marg. The phrase Bipran Ki Reet means Brahmanical ritualism. When in 1998, the then Akal Takht Jathedar Joginder Singh Vedanti republished the previously banned and blasphemous book titled Gurbilas Padshai Chemi, Gurbakh Singh exposed the blasphemy in his book Gurbani Di Kaswati Te Gurbilas Padshai Chemi, meaning Gurbilas Padshai Chemi on the benchmark or on the touchstone of Gurbani. Kala Afghana refuted each and every blasphemous and fake narrative about our Sikh gurus that were contained within the rewritten book of Jathedar Vedanti. He established that virtually every story therein was a fabrication. His ironclad arguments were based on the truths of Gurbani and illustrated amply with Gurbani verses. Kala Afghana further exposed diligently and systematically the anti-Sikh agenda behind Vedanti's book. The outcome was that in October of 2000, the SGPC banned the Akal Takht Jathedar's book. Kala Afghana's suggestion that the republication of Gurbilas was a conspiracy involving the Akal Takht, which had been deeply infiltrated by Nirmala and Dera thought, was proven by the fact that no action whatsoever was taken against the authors of the republished book. Equally ironical was the fact that it was the author of the blasphemous book himself, Vedanti, who framed charges against Kala Afghana. Vedanti refused to allow Afghana to defend himself and then sat in judgment over those same charges. Kala Afghana was excommunicated in absentia from the Sikh Panth in June of 2003. The excommunication of Kala Afghana speaks volumes of the spiritual decay and moral decadence that has crept into our institutions as a result of the infiltration of the hijackers into the inner sanctums of Sikhi. One wonders if his enlightened mind, his awakened conscience, and dedicated spirit, if his voluminous research and writing on Gurbani and Sikhi matters, and the devotion of his passion towards correcting the wrongs within Sikh thought and practices became the very reasons and causes of his punishment. If excommunication is the reward for such selflessness, then what really is the future of the Sikhi of Guru Nanak? So deep was Vedanti's rage resulting from being exposed by Kala Afghana that the publisher of Afghana's books, Hardev Singh Shergill, Secretary General of Singh Sabha International, California, USA, and owner and publisher of the Sikh Bulletin too, had come into the crosshairs of the raging Vedanti for publishing Afghana's books. Vedanti considered excommunicating Shergill, but never quite got around to it. So deep and strong is the hold of Nirmala and Dera taught on the Sikh psyche that the highest seat of authority of its clergy, the Akal Takht, can be helmed by a man who openly declared that he was a scholar of the Vedas, a Vedanti. Imagine the Pope declaring himself to be a scholar of the Mahabharata, Pope John Paul Mahaparthi. Inder Singh Kagga, a professor at Sikh Missionary College, stands as one of Sikhi's most illuminated mind and courageous soul. He can rightly be called the father of Tat Gurmat for his coaching and mentoring of a whole range of missionary pracharaks. He authored more than 70 books and recorded more than 300 audio CDs in his zeal to expose the corrupting effect of the Nirmalas, Deras, and Taksali clergy on Sikhi. His thinking can be said to have influenced an entire generation of Sikh pracharaks who have looked towards his expositions of the most intricate verses within Gurbani, his insightful commentaries on Sikh issues, and his courageous rebuttals to the massive amounts of corrupted messages that are put out on the social media, in particular by the Dera and Taksali preachers. His fearless ways in taking on any issue and any personality within the Sikh Panth is truly unmatched. Having served as a personal assistant to Akal Takht Jahedar Professor Manjeet Singh beginning 1994, Kagga has acquired a deep understanding of the shenanigans that take place in the workings of the Akal Takht and the SGPC, in particular, the corrupting influence of Akali politics on both these crucial Sikh institutions. He has thus never shied from exposing the dishonest maneuverings that both institutions indulge in. Given his effectiveness and courage, Kagga became the primary target of the Dera and Taksali people who keep trying repeatedly to get him excommunicated. And in the interim, they have resorted to creating violent disruptions in Gurdwaras that invite him to speak to their Sangats. Kagga's logic-centered, reason-based, and Gurbani-dependent style is particularly attractive to thinking Sikhs, many of whom have ended their affiliations with Deras and Taksals after being exposed to him. The Dera and Taksali groups were acutely aware of Kagga's appeal and thus resorted to silence him by entering his home to assault him for his courage and outspokenness on matters pertaining to Sikh reform. Professor Kagga perhaps stands out as one individual who has suffered the most physical harm at the hands of the Dera and Taksali goons, both within India and abroad. But none of that has deterred him. The father of Tat Gurmat remains passionately active and dedicated in the Sikhi Seva. Kagga's daughter, Bibi Navdeep Kaur, a resident of the UK, has joined the mission of the Sikh Panth towards reform. Deeply committed, enlightened in Gurbani, Eloquent and articulate, Navdeep Kaur has emerged as a beacon of hope for Sikhs desiring Sikhi to revert to its original authentic roots. Professor Darshan Singh Ji Khalsa stands out as an insider who stepped out to become one of Sikhi's most strident reformers. His command of Gurbani, expressed through his kirtan, katha, and public appearances on TV and radio, has bestowed upon him an authority that is unprecedented. He served as Jathedar of Akal Takht during the turbulent years of 1987 till 1990, resigning after expressing frustration with the corrupt political maneuverings that plagued both the SGPC and Akal Takht. He has since taken on the task of Sikhi reform, which he encapsulated as Ek Granth, Ek Panth, Ek Maryada, each component of which has pitted him against the establishment, against Sikh leadership, and against the Deras and Taksals, and against the adherents of the Pachitra Natak and Sarbalok Granths, whose ultimate agenda is the side-by-side prakash of these Granths in all Gurdwaras. He called for reform of the Akal Takht, for a re-look at the SRM, and an overhaul of the SGPC. What defined Professor Darshan Singh most, however, was his non-compromising stand that the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji ought to be the sole and only benchmark for all matters of Sikhi reform. He has argued for the sacrosanctity of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, a position which required him to expose the lie that was the Dasam Granth. He rejected the Dasam Granth in totality, called for its compositions to be removed from the stipulations of the SRM pertaining to Nitnem, Khande Paul, and Sodar Bani. His rejection of the Dasam Granth was irrefutable. While other anti-DG scholars focused on proving that the compositions within the DG were lifted from ancient Puranic texts and authored by people such as Sham, Ram, and Nal, Darshan Singh focused on the substance of the compositions. He systematically exposed the content of DG to be unfit for Sikhi and unworthy of being identified with any of our gurus. And for his stand, in December of 2005, the Akal Takht moved to excommunicate him. He has continued his activism from Toronto, Canada, where he is now based. Pal Singh Purewal, a Canadian-based research scholar, contributed towards freeing Sikhi from the shackles of Brahmanism by working tirelessly to create the Solar-based Nanak Shahi calendar in the hope that it will replace the Luna-based Bikrmi calendar. Purewal has stated that he had three objectives in formulating the Nanak Shahi calendar. The first was to formulate a calendar that was in line with the philosophy of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Second was to discard the inaccurate Luna calendar and use a solar one in its place. And third was to allow for all Sikh festival dates, particularly Gurpurabs, to be fixed and not vary from year to year. The Nanak Shahi calendar was approved by the SGPC in 2003. The Dera Taksali and Sant Samaj groups put enormous pressure on the Akal Takht to overturn the SGPC approval. In 2014, the SGPC and Akal Takht reverted fully to the Luna-based Bikrmi calendar. The backtracking of the SGPC has put the Sikh communities across the world in a quandary and to split into two. Dera, Taksal, and Sant Samaj controlled gurdwaras and institutions continued to use the Indian Bikrmi calendar, while most gurdwaras outside of India follow the lunar calendar. Joginder Singh, editor-in-chief of Rosanna Spokesman, played a definitive role towards reform in Sikhi. His weekly newspaper was relentless in publishing exposés of all that was wrong with the state of affairs of Sikhi, its leaders, and our institutions. He gave ample space within his Punjabi newspaper to personalities like Gurbakh Singh Kala Afghana, Inder Singh Kagga, Pal Singh Purewal, and other reform-minded Sikh writers. Joginder Singh himself was a prolific writer whose columns caused a great deal of discomfort among the Dera, Taksali, Sant Samaj, and their associates. Jathedar Vedanti excommunicated him in 2004 on charges of reporting and writing against Sikh principles, history, Maryada, practices, and institutions. The Hukamnama instructed Sikhs to not associate with Joginder Singh, not associate with his newspaper and his views. Nevertheless, the Rosanna Spokesman remains the fourth largest Punjabi language newspaper in Punjab. Harjinder Singh Dalgir, a citizen of Norway and resident of the UK, is an authority on Sikh history and philosophy. He has written a complete history of the Sikhs, both in English, which is in 10 volumes, and Punjabi, which is in 5 volumes. And he has translated the Guru Granth Sahib into English in 7 volumes. He has published the Nama Mahan Kosh, or the New Mahan Kosh, Encyclopedia of Sikh Literature in Punjab and Sikh History. He has written extensively and critically about the concept and the history of the Akal Takht, Sikh culture, and the Akali Dal. His other works include the life story of Banda Singh Bahadur, both in Punjabi and English. All in all, he has authored and edited more than 100 books. He has provided a refreshing, authentic, and Gurbani-based commentary on virtually every issue pertaining to Sikh matters. He has been a strident critic of the Dera, Taksal, and Sant Samaj. He has called for reform of Sikh institutions, including the Akal Takht, and a relook at the SRM. His research pertaining to the fraudulent claims of Deras and Taksals of their links to gurus and prominent Sikhs such as Bhai Mani Singh and Baba Deep Singh stands out. He has established that the roots of these Deras and Taksals actually go back to Nirmalas, Udasis, and their Mahants. He has convincingly argued that the Akal Takht does not have the power to excommunicate anyone, and that the position of Jathedar itself did not exist prior to the British intervention in Sikh matters. In terms of output and contributions, Dr. Dalgir has done what Sikh institutions, universities, and academia have failed to do. In this regard, then, Dalgir stands as an institution in his own regard. Dalgir's startling research has, however, put him at odds with the Dera, Taksali, and Sant Samaj groups. For instance, he proved that Gangu the Brahmin played no role in the brutal execution of the 2 younger children of Guru Gobind Singh, and that this commonly believed lie was hashed by Nirmala Kavi Santokh Singh in his Surj Prakash Granth. Such a fabrication was necessary for the Nirmalas to cover the tracks of the role of Nirmalas themselves in this ugly episode. In June of 2017, the Jathedars of Akal Takht excommunicated Dalgir in absentia. The Jathedars have ordered Sikhs to not have links with Dalgir or his work. Dalgir has continued to write, attend Sikh seminars, and upload numerous videos on YouTube. Bhai Harnek Singh Neki is the owner and host of Radio Versa that operates out of Auckland, New Zealand. He also operates Gurdwara Sri Guru Singh Sabha, Papa Toetoe in Auckland. Neki has courageously and stridently exposed the shenanigans of Derawadis and Taksalis, as well as their sons and Babas, for their role in corrupting and distorting Sikh philosophy and Sikh history. He has laid bare the corrupt ways of the SGPC, the Takhats and other leading Sikh institutions and universities. Through his involvement in Gurdwara Sri Guru Singh Sabha, he has made sure that Tat Gurmat and authentic Gurbani-based Sikhi could be taught and practiced therein. He invites his opponents to call in to his radio shows and debates them dauntlessly on Sikh issues, even if only to expose the hollowness and shallowness of the Derawadi and Taksali detractors. A group of Derawadis and Taksali goons attacked the Gurdwara and removed a saroop of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji from within. They then petitioned the Prime Minister of New Zealand to take Radio Versa off the air. In June of 2018, Akal Takht Jahedar Gurbachan Singh announced Neki's excommunication. In late 2020, Neki survived a murderous attack on his life and has returned to continue his work at Radio Versa beginning April of 2021. Bhai Ranjit Singh Tadrianwala occupies a rather atypical position among the reform-minded Pracharaks on three primary grounds. Firstly, he has come from the other side. He was, from an early age, a Derawadi who called himself a Sant. He has openly admitted to previously practicing and preaching deviant stuff as advanced by the hijackers of Sikhi. He has since denounced that deviancy and critiqued it in a robust manner. Second, his support base is primarily the youth and ordinary folk. Third, his support strength is unmatched not just by any other reformer Pracharak, but by the Dera and Taksaldi groups as well. Bhai Ranjit Singh advocates the use of reason, logic, and justification in our attempt to understand Gurbani. He has systematically critiqued the dubious and blasphemous content of Nirmala constructed classical texts such as Gurbilas, Surya Prakash, and the Janam Sakhis. He has exposed the distortions that define the Dera sons and Babas. He has questioned the authority of the Jathedars of Akal Takht to sit on our heads and to lord over the Sikh community, charging them of usurping authority that they never had. He has called on Sikhs to revert to the messages of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, asking everyone to read Gurbani on their own and attempt to understand it for themselves. Bhai Ranjit Singh's exit from the Dera put him at odds with the Sant Samaj. The large crowds that turn up daily at his Gurdwara Parmeshwar Dwar in Patiala, Punjab to listen to his daily sermons and his even larger internet following has created deep envy in the minds of the other Dera and Taksaldi groups. Harnam Singh Tumma, head of Sant Samaj and head of Damdami Taksal, whose actual name is Dera Chauk Mehta, seems to have become the pivot for anything and everything that is anti-Bhai Ranjit Singh. On the evening of 17 May 2016, more than 24 armed men ambushed Bhai Ranjit Singh's vehicle and opened fire on him while Bhaiji and his group was travelling to a congregation in Ludhiana. Ranjit Singh survived the ensuing gun battle, but his accomplice Gyani Bhupinder Singh was killed. What is particularly contemptuous about this attack is that a Shabeel outlet was set up by the attackers as a cover for the ambush. The Dera Taksali and Sant Samaj groups have since taken to preventing and disrupting the Diwans of Bhai Ranjit Singh by creating physical ruckus to spearhead the drive to shut or silence Bhai Ranjit Singh. At the close of 2019, the Dera Taksali and Sant Samaj groups intensified their calls to the Akal Takht to excommunicate Bhai Ranjit Singh. The Jathedar of Akal Takht responded by calling on Sikhs to not listen to Bhai Ranjit Singh and not share his messages through the social media. The above Sikh personalities, Pracharaks, intellectuals, thinkers, historians, writers, and leaders are a sampling of those who have provided leadership, direction, inspiration, and courage both to the Sikh community seeking to shed the shackles of 200 years of hijacking of our spirituality and to others who desire to be leaders in their own right. Currently, scores of Pracharaks such as Bhai Gurcharan Singh Panwa, Bhai Pantpreet Singh, Professor Sarbjit Singh Tunda, Bhai Baljit Singh Delhi, Bhai Baljit Singh Rajpura, Bhai Amreek Singh, Bhai Lakhbir Singh Canada, and Bhai Narvair Singh UK, among others, are contributing immensely towards this end. Scientists such as Professor Devinder Singh Chahal, Canada, and Professor Emeritus Harbans Lal, and scores of enlightened Sikhs such as Avtar Singh Missionary, Gurcharan Singh Barad Jionwala, Canada, Gyani Jarnail Singh Arshi, Malaysia, Bhai Jaspal Singh Pandhi, Ludhiana, and Veer Bhupinder Singh, USA, are among many others who are devoting their time and energy in creating authentic Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji based Sikhi content on numerous websites, publications, and videos for disseminations. The Dera, Taksali, and Sant Samajis have a great arsenal of weapons at their disposal to keep the status quo and to keep their hold over Sikhs and Sikhi. Their infiltration and control of a vast majority of Sikh institutions, including the SGPC, Takhats, including the Akal Takht, is undoubtedly their weapon of choice. The use of excommunication as a weapon in this regard is clear from the cases where it has been used. The use of violence by the Dera and Taksali groups under the guise of stopping Diwans of reform-minded Pracharaks attempts to get the publications, videos, and radio shows of thinkers critical of Deras and Taksals banned or removed, and intimidation of Sangats and Prabandhaks of Gurdwaras are perhaps the ugliest tools at the disposal of the hijackers. They have never shied from undertaking the ugliest of acts, as evidenced by the plethora of videos about their violent behavior that are available on the social media. But the most powerful weapon of the hijackers is a community that is in deep slumber, asleep, unaware, unconcerned, and oblivious about the plight of Sikhi at the hands of these hijackers, until and unless the Sikh masses and we common Sikhs awaken to this reality and resolve to free ourselves from the shackles and bondages of the hijacking, the distortion and corruption will continue unabated. And until and unless we awaken, the hijacked airplane of Sikh spirituality will remain hijacked, will remain diverted, and will be force landed at a destination that was never intended to by our gurus. Now that's a tragedy in the making, or perhaps one that has already happened. I appreciate you joining me on this discovery on the journey of Guru Nanak's spirituality. It has not been a pleasant or happy narrative, but one that has to be told and needs to be retold.